there's my butterfly fish, African butterflies. Oops. If we get much closer, I won't be able to see them. It's more coral flake for the day. They seem to be. They'll go after most anything that kind of sits on the top. I had 5. I now have 3. Look at that. They're beautiful though. If there's a 4th, one more I counted 4. It's possible they're behind the big moss tree and I can't see them. Yeah. They're one of the fish that I lost due to my 30 days unable to do any water changes. When my back was so bad I could barely move without a little bit of cursing. I know a lot of cursing. Anyway. Wide angle. But yeah, I like this one. It's very much, oh, there goes the gobies. Come out toward the front. I'm trying to sit here and just be quiet. I've got gobies in here. There's 3 of the bigger species, so the stuff hitting the bottom is for them. One's wiggling around in the grass. I keep moving it a little. Oh, Mormarid sighting. There he is. Yep, that's the one Mormarid I have left. It's the whale version. I need to look up its scientific name because I don't remember. But I lost, again, I lost 2. What I have found is I think he thinks it's food, but is still not sure. They're not good on flakes and stuff. I try to throw cube bloodworms in here. And I've also hoped that the fish will take a cue from the other fish in the tank that this is food and you should eat it. There's a small Endler colony growing in here. There's my Mormarid digging around some more. He lives in the tree. Really cool fish. I want to get friends again for him and put him in a species only 33 long. Because they're the ones that use the sonar. Ooh, there is my goby. See him? Big dude behind the grass. I so rarely see the Mormarid. I'm hoping it's figured out this is food and is eating some of it. I think of the 3, one of them wasted away. Just didn't realize anything was food. There comes my goby. And the other one I lost and I lost one of them pretty early on. I couldn't get it to eat anything. And right now, I'm doing the best I can. So this dude has figured out that more things are food than it initially thought. And then I lost the second one during my 30 days where I just couldn't do anything and the water quality went down too much for them. So I'm hoping this guy is the one that's figured out other things are food than he initially thought. And something has figured out that snails are food. Oops. Come on, focus on something. There it goes. All these dead snails down here. Yeah, something ate them. But I am very, very excited to see this guy out and about. Like I said, I do want to get, Dan still has some at Dan's Fish. Hoping nobody gets them all so that I can get a few more for him and do like a species only tank. Because they talk to each other, they think through their sonar stuff. They put out these electrical current. Obviously it's not enough to hurt other fish, but it's kind of a way to communicate, it's a way to find things, and I would really like this dude to have, company, because I'm wondering if, you put out a message, hi, are you anybody out there, and then nobody answers, yes, I'm out here. That might be sad and lonely, so we're going to see what we do. But yeah, a little bit more feeding this morning, and all that extra food will go, whoops, come on, will go to the 10 million snails that are in here that aren't dead yet. This is the most active I've ever seen this dude. My gobies too. There's 3 of these guys in here. I just love gobies, and they're kind of territorial. So they're chasing each other around the rock. There's another one. You can't really tell. If I get any closer, I won't see anybody coming out on the other side of the piece of pot. All right, it's 5 minutes, but I was so excited to see my Mormored out. Morton the Mormored, maybe. Morty, that might be what his name is. Or her, I don't know. But yeah, I think he needs friends. And I'll check the tank out later if it's still too flaky. I'll suck some of that out if I need to, but normally the food goes away. Did y'all get enough off the top, booze? I love these fish. African butterflies are one of my favorite fish in the world. I may add them to the 75-gallon Eheim I'm still sitting at. Problem is I don't want to put a lid on it because a lid won't fit unless I get it specially cut with a hole cut for where the tree piece comes out above the rim of the tank. So they won't go sailing out, and I might do that, but I'm not sure I'm skilled enough to get an acrylic piece and cut that hole. But I would love seeing them. They're beautiful. And I may, the Acara, this zebra Acara may also go in there. I'm just not sure how well that would do as a pair of those with a pair of Apistos, because they both tend to stay on the bottom. We'll see. I fed them too. They're floating around eating. They're beautiful fish. Look at that. He's so beautiful. I ended up with 2 males and a female in the trio, the young trio I got. Ooh, there goes the air conditioner. And bless its heart, there's one betta picta left in here. I had a pair, and again, some fish made it through the 30-day no water change and some didn't. I didn't lose a lot, but I still feel bad about the ones I lost. But honestly, I couldn't walk. I couldn't move. People are like, oh, just have somebody come over and do it. You know what? There's nobody to come over and do it. And if you can't walk and move, it's not the only thing in your house that's disgusting. So I did the best I could for the animals I had. I cut back way, way back on their feeding. I mean, seriously, way back on their feeding. Like once or twice a week on their feeding. But again, I lost a Mormored, my betta picta, I think a guppy or two. I think what else might have gotten lost. Some of my Shelleys. This is a 3-species Shelley tank. All the Shelleys seem to make it. This one's a big tank with maybe 8 or 10 fish, but sorry. It has a Similis. I think these are Calvus. Alto Lamprologus Calvus. And then the Ocelotus. 33 long tank. They all decided this 2/3 of the tank that sits out closer is the one they want to inhabit. So nobody's really going to successfully breed. However, I think what I'm going to do is move them. I might try to leave just 2 of them in the 33 long. There's all kinds of site breaks in here in differently territorial areas that they could get into, and they might get 2 to breed in the 33 long. But if they do, I'll definitely have to pull some of them out. And maybe put the Ocelotus, because they seem to be the meanest, in a species only by themselves, and see if I can get them to breed again. I used to have a really big thriving colony. Makes me sound like a horrible fish keeper that I managed to hurt and kill off. Yeah. Still feel bad about that. But there's 2 of the little, I think they're little Sumbas, or Sambas is the nickname for them. I have 2 of them in here. I've got 3 more coming from Aquatic Arts. And like I said, there's a Similis in here, and I'm gonna have to get, I thought there was a pair, but I only see 1 now. So I think I need to get a couple more Similis, but man, they're expensive. And I do have a few Ocelotus. Not sure if I have a pair or not. So we'll see. Let's possible I do. They're picking at the curl flake I put up in there. Yeah, we will see. Just thought I'd show some of the fish tanks I fed this morning. Yeah, this one's a little bit cloudy now because see them all? They're just going to town on the food. They're like, yes, feed us, feed us, feed us. And then these guys are still poking at the food that's falling down. And they'll poke and prod at it, and the shrimp will go after it. And guppies will come down and start going after it too. All right, that's 10 minutes of I've fed everybody and getting excited to see my Mormorids and my Calvus out. Yep, I think my Semmel's gonna need a friend. Then we'll see who we may move where. I promise you, shell dweller people will be like, don't do that. You can't put them all together. Well, you can if you don't expect them to breed and you have a big enough space for a small enough amount of fish. They can territory out. They really do. So the Calvus lives up under the rock. The Ocellatus picked the front and center. And the Similis has picked this corner over here. And seriously, 33 long. And they're all in the 2/3 that are out. There's a whole section back there. Not one of them picked that in. I don't know why. But it does need a rescape and a cleanup, that's for sure. It's on my list of things to do. It hasn't been done yet. Alright guys, so that's the feeding of the wall. I still gotta climb up and feed these guys. But yeah, we will stop here. Because it's 12 minutes and, you know, bored now. Well, y'all are probably bored. I'm not. They're my fish. And I enjoy seeing them get excited about food. Because honestly, I get excited about food. This is my big mixed bag Coryodora tank too. There's 3 or so species in here. Feel bad because a couple of them are stragglers left over, especially that old pepper Cory. I think he's the only, I forgot their real name. One of the more common Coryodora in there. Then there's some of the Venezuelan ones that are orange-ish. And then there is some of them with a skunk stripe. But I was told they're not the skunk Corys, but I actually don't know which ones they are. I love Corys. They're so cool. Yeah, and people say rainbows only feed in the water. I think that fish learn from other fish. And so this is not a very deep tank, and I will see not only my Corys picking at the bottom, but I'll see other fish who wouldn't normally feed at the bottom go, they're eating there. There must be food there. Let me see. It's an interesting dynamic. Watching a community tank and watching them feed in places that they might not normally feed just because the other fish are doing it, and they think, oh, if they're doing it, it must be food. Okay, I'll quit yammering on about the fish I fed and say, have a good day.